Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so there's not a large variety of stories going on besides just like, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to That's all we're talking about. That's all we're talking about. So I I never like to force videos just for forcing videos. But one thing I will say is the Daniel Jones situation has definitely been heating up. Now, a multitude of reports have come out. I think Monday I might have dropped a video, or maybe it was Sunday or Saturday. But I dropped a video earlier on, sometime earlier on in the last 6 days, saying that Daniel Jones was requesting 45 million a year, and 2 days later, um, something comes out. I think Carton from Carton and Roberts. I think that's the show. It used to be Boomer and Carton. I think it's Carton and Roberts. Comes out, not Roberts. Roberts. He comes out and says that he talked to a very reliable person. I don't remember the names of these agencies, but Daniel Jones switched agents, and that was the whole theory, that he switched agents because he didn't want to work with that other agency that he was with before, because he was requesting $45 million, and he didn't think that they could get that for him. So $45 million comes out. Everybody's saying he's not worth that. We need to move on, and that sparked an entirely different discussion, which I'll probably make a couple of videos this week that may have changed my opinion on if Daniel Jones should come back or not, and if Saquon should come back or not. But that's neither here nor there. I'll stay on topic today. With that coming out, um, people were in an outrage, which is to be understood, because the guy, no matter what's around him, you can't go to your boss. You can't go to your boss if you are a salesperson and you haven't made any sales, or you made 3 sales, but you're working at the worst sales place ever. You were not able to make any sales because someone was in the background talking on the phone too loud, and it messed up your sale, and the phone kept turning off. Yes, you have a big point. You got a big point. You couldn't make any sales because of the environment you were in. But at the same time, you can't take those numbers of 3 sales to your boss or to another company and say, I deserve top of the market salary. I deserve top of the market pay because I was in a bad situation. So at the end of the day, he threw 15 touchdowns last year. He had 22 total touchdowns, which is solid, but 15 touchdowns is 15 touchdowns in 2022. So it's just something that you take note of. Not me. Listen, this isn't a debate video. Not me saying that he's not worthy of a contract. It's just when you say 45 million, I need the stats to also, I need the stats to also reflect that he's a $45 million type of quarterback. So that was what was coming up, and people were in an outrage. But again, as I kind of got distracted there, Carton comes out and says that he pretty much has a reliable source that this was a sham put out by his old agency. Now, pretty much people are saying that, or the reliable people are saying that Daniel Jones left what I think is called CAA, and he went to a new agency, which is the same agency that manages Aaron Rodgers, the same agency that manages Dak Prescott. They also manage Landon Collins and Sterling Shepard, though. But he went to this new agency, and it seems like the old agency was upset that he left and just put out just bad things about him, because they don't get a piece of the pie. If he goes out and signs a $35 million deal, they would have wanted a chunk of that too. So because they're not getting that piece of the pie, they apparently put out a blatant lie about Daniel Jones. So that's something that is kind of strange, because I mean, as a player, I would never want to work with them if I saw that they put out lies about players who leave if there's a disagreement. That's just completely just that's unacceptable. I'm not going to apologize for reporting on things that have multiple reliable sources. I'm not going to apologize for that, but I will say it stinks that Daniel Jones had to endure a week of this because of lies put out by his old agency. So then today or yesterday, sometime in the morning, I see another report that says that yes, CAA was upset that Daniel Jones left, but also Daniel Jones did tell them that he wanted $45 million. And that was part of the reason that he left. And the lie that they're saying is not because of, it's the lie that they're saying that never has happened is that Daniel Jones has never asked the Giants for 45K. Actually, negotiations haven't even started. Or not 45K, 45 million. Negotiations haven't even started yet. So you have no idea of knowing what's real, what's not real. Daniel Jones could possibly be asking for 45 million. He could be asking for 45 million with his end number being 38 million. He could be asking for 33 million. There's literally no way we can know, but that just stinks that someone just put out a blatant lie. If they did, that really rubs me the wrong way, kind of, because that's just not how you do business, man. That's just not how you do business. But either way, it looks like contract talks have not gotten that serious with Daniel Jones and the Giants. We haven't seen things that said like the Giants have balked at this or that the Giants are making progress or not making progress. This is going to be a big decision, people. When you're looking at this, I'll give you a quick preview of some of the things I'm kind of looking at. The cap space. If we were to make a couple of moves, go out and restructure the Leonard Williams deal, go out and cut Kenny Galladay, and I think after those two moves, we'd be around 63 million. If Daniel Jones has to go to the franchise tag, that's 32 million, or if it's non-exclusive, it's 29 million. So if he goes to 29 million, that leaves you with about 30 million in cap space, which isn't bad. But do you want to have 30 million in cap space tied up in 1 year? I'm not sure. Also, Saquon, is he going to get paid? If he does get paid, you're not backloading a contract for a running back. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to backload a contract for a running back. So if Saquon, it gets paid with 13, $14 million a year, then you got both of those guys this year at the very minimum. 29 plus 14 is going to be what? 43 million? 43 million? Yeah, 43 million. Hopefully I'm not wrong. That'd be embarrassing. But I'm pretty sure 29 plus 13 is 43. So 43 million taken up by two players. Then, I mean, you can kind of restructure some things, but you're going to have to put some deals back. You also have to worry about, I need to sign Dex. I need to sign Andrew Thomas. I need to sign a bunch of these guys. So 43 million. If he does get a long-term deal and for some reason, the cap hit is more manageable, then you can stretch that out. You can push a quarterback's money back. If you're committing to a guy for 4 years, you can push that money back. It's the quarterback. But tough decision for Joe Shane to make. I mean, he's got the Daniel Jones thing, he's got the Saquon thing, he's even got the Julian Love thing, who I think is going to get at least $5 or $6 million, maybe even more. So you probably got to let that guy leave. You got to replace that safety. You got to get out and get two linebackers. You got to improve the interior of the offensive line. You got to fix the defensive line depth. You got to get a new cornerback. You got to do a lot of things. You got to get a number one wide receiver. Where are you going to get that from? Are you going to trade for Brandon Ayuk? Are you going to trade for DeAndre Hopkins? Are you going to stand pat and say we're just not getting one this year? We're going to have to get one next year. Are you going to go ahead and trade up to take a guy like JSN or take a guy like Addison? Are you going to trade up in the second round to take another guy? Are you going to go after a tight end to try to get that number one receiver mold met? So I do not envy Joe Shane. He's going through it. So that's kind of an update on the Daniel Jones thing. You guys let me know what you're thinking. Do you still want to move on from Daniel Jones? Do you still not want to move on for Daniel Jones? Tell me your opinion down in the chat. Same thing about anybody else. Saquon Barkley, Julian Love. You guys have a great rest of your day. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.